What was the third one? 27, 800, wait,
179?
179, 197, 200.
Yeah.
His life before messages. 179 on number 3.
Yes.
Hundred, 197, 170, 197. I'll know when the page is turned. Because we don't have fast.
We have 1 minute.
205. 1 minute. Full momentum. On that side of the full momentum. Somebody needs a ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong.
1 minute.
Ding dong the bells.
Okay, it's under YouTube.
Come on, Dale, get up there and ding dong those bells.
Should be the top end or the bottom.
Oh.
Or do you want to do it from there using BT6?
I can do it from there. Yeah, I just have to make sure we
Turn on.
turn on.
Yeah. This is what I saw. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good. My name is Marty Hadaway. On behalf of the co-pastors and our board of trustees, we welcome you to Colby Memorial Temple for our Sunday service. To begin our service, Lori Carter will light 3 candles, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Thank you, Lori. All right, please rise as you are able for our opening prayer and remain standing for our first hymn. Thank you. Great Spirit, in the atmosphere of your creation, thankful are we that our souls have united in the power of love to support the communication between the 2 worlds from deep within our being. We send forth our heartfelt love to the unseen world. May they know that they will always dwell in our hearts and in our minds now and always. Amen. Our first hymn will be led by our vocalist, Jamie Osman, and it is page number 200, Star Spangled Banner.
We can go get through the first one, but the last 2, we might have to read. Oh, say, can you see? Serving up what's so streaming, broad stripes and bright stars. Roll us fight over screaming. For still okay, we don't have to do the last 2. Yay. You may be seated.
Okay, thank you, Jamie, and thank you, everyone. All right, located on the handout and in the front cover of the hymnal are our declaration of principles. Please join me in reciting these principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Now, the healing prayer is located in the back of your hymnal. Please recite with me prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. Now, for those of you who wish to receive spiritual healing, please take a seat along the wall and go to the next available healer. You can choose either wall. While the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. Please place your feet comfortably on the floor and your hands lightly in your lap. Whatever is comfortable for you is correct. At this time, let us join together in a guided meditation. Your breath will be the anchor throughout this meditation while you focus softly upon the words. You are allowing the gentle tuning of your vibration to the frequency of infinite intelligence, God, Source. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Be easy as you find the rhythm of your body. Enjoy long, deep breaths in and out as you listen to my voice. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. It is not necessary that you concentrate. There's nothing you need to remember. You are safe and at peace. There is no one that needs you and nowhere for you to be but here and now. Notice that your body is feeling heavier and heavier, almost as if you are a sponge soaked in water, sinking deeply into the support beneath you. Heavy and relaxed, your mind is quiet and still. Breathe and enjoy. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. You are an extension of infinite intelligence, God, Source. As an extension of non-physical source energy, you have come into this existence with great eagerness and purpose. Your intention was to explore Earth's perfectly balanced contrast with the purpose of moving life beyond what it has been before for you. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. In this moment of both time and space, you are exactly where you intended to be. And the infinite intelligence, God, Source within you is so very pleased. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Your life continually calls for expansion through you, and all of life benefits from the important part that we all individually play. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. As you relax and deeply breathe, you can appreciate the love that infinite intelligence, God, Source, feels for you in this moment in time. Appreciation for your physical world, for all its diversity, and for the stream of never-ending desires you continually have. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Before your birth into this physical body, you understood the importance of contrasting diversity on planet Earth. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. You jumped in eagerly to explore the variety and enjoy the expansion you would be called to. Your life is unlimited in every respect, enjoying absolute continuing abundance, enjoying perfect well-being. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Your life is supposed to feel good to you, for there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. You have deliberately chosen it as the platform from which so much more will follow. The appreciation that infinite intelligence, God, Source, feels for you never endingly will wrap you in a warm blanket of worthiness if you will allow it to be. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Your life is serving you well and is providing the basis of expansion, exactly as you knew it would when you decided to come into this amazing existence. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. A conscious awareness of how it all works. Everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for you. Even when it doesn't look like or seem to be, everything is always working out. Infinite intelligence, God, Source, is always listening to your desires and your dreams, allowing for your abundant well-being. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. You feel eager and expansive and are desiring more and more with every new discovery and each new place you stand. The expansive feeling of more continues to call you and refresh you. Your world is continually expanding and steadily growing and refreshing while you're finding balance every step of the way. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Well-being is the dominant basis of all reason of existence, of the universe, of the physical planet Earth on which you now exist. Our magnificent world is eternally tied to the steady rhythm of well-being at its core. And the same is true for you. As you relax and refresh, releasing the resistance as you breathe, you will discover the balancing rhythm of infinite intelligence, God, Source. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. Be easy about your life and feel the appreciation of who you are. With the goal of happiness and joy, you allow wonderful things to flow naturally to you. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. As you relax into the law-based premise of these words, any resistance you have found along your physical path will be released. Deeply breathe in and breathe out. We are all co-creators within a diverse universe. All that is benefiting from your existence. And now, when you are ready, breathing in and breathing out, open your eyes. Welcome back, lovely ones. All right. And now I would like to thank our healers. We have Lori Carter starting from over here, Darlene McCormick, Reverend Deborah Gretton Ganberg, Daryl Demerit. Thank you. And Coquette Cruz, were you up there, Coquette? Absolutely, didn't even notice. And Coquette Cruz, who's now up here. Thank you, everyone. If you have received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement, please complete the yellow card in the back of the temple, or there's one in your book, and give it to the pastor on the back of the temple, or mail the card to us. Or you may place it in the collection plate as well. And we thank you for your feedback. This means an awful lot to our healers. Thank you. Okay, please stand for our next hymn, hymn number 197, Battle Hymn of the Republic. Thank you, Jamie.
Mine is seen the glory of God, glory, glory, hallelujah. I see the Lord's Glory, thank you. You may be seated. Too much fun. Wow.
All right, you guys, that was great. Okay, and thank you to our tambouriners. All right. And now it is my absolute pleasure and honor to introduce to you our speaker of the day. Mr. Joy Sagar is a certified medium in the camp, certified healer and teacher, and he also resides here. And he's nothing short of an amazing medium, and it is my pleasure once again to introduce Mr. Joy Sagar.
Thank you, Marty, and thank you, everybody, for being here. You know, it was a matter of amusement. I thought we were having a physical phenomenon of old record player skip in the musical notes. I was just getting entertained. I hope you're all having fun. I'm grateful that you made a choice. You could have been anywhere else, but we are all here together. So thanks for that discernment that you use for yourself. So before we get into the talk or the conversation, I just would like to say I speak inspirationally. So whatever is gonna be talked, discussed, brought forward, it is just as much for me as it is for you. And we will all explore these little thoughts and pieces that will step forward. So that being said, how many of us can say I've been served or you've been served? Right. And I got served this morning. I left my home to come to the church, and all I was hearing is take notes, take notes, take notes. So our Andrew Jackson Davis building where the Lyceum was happening was there, so I had to walk in to make notes. So I've been served. And that is what happens when you live in the harmony of your own spirit. You just never know when that little nudge is going to come along the way, right? So we are celebrating the Sunday right before the 4th of July. So my thought initially is to talk about saying thanks to all those that have contributed where we are, the freedoms, the rights, the privileges we have that we share. And just about everybody in this country is somewhere has taken a pathway of immigration, but we are here because we wanted to be here, right? And that's the part for me to understand is that's innate sense of freedom that it should provide us where we are in no matter what aspect of our life. So celebrate the 4th of July when you get to it on Tuesday with a sense of freedom. But the word of inspiration today is, I'll talk about there in a second. I usually enjoy a lot of wordplay when I'm just in my own element. And if you know me from any fascination or any sense of connection, you would know there's always some little nudge in the humor is. And I do enjoy breaking down words into acronyms to inspire myself or those that might find value in it. And today's word was hope. So since day one of our human creation, change is always happening, and it is still happening in 2023, right? So the change is going to pursue and continue in 33 further down the years. The change is always there. But what ties everything in this change is, I feel, this is not the only word, but this is a word of many choices. There is a sense of hope. And we are all working for that sense of hope. Now, my thought was, what is bringing me to this word to just have this just pushed and pushed this morning as I was sitting there? And then I recognized my wonderful enjoyment activity of yesterday was having my camera in my hand, and I was at Ponce Inlet Lighthouse Jetty, and I was just doing my thing. I like take pictures. I made a lot of wonderful connections with the surfers, so we got to know, and we don't talk more than just a hi and hello, or you were there standing over there with a camera and you were there surfing. But I was there, and the beautiful sunset happened. The sun went down the horizon on one end, and I just saw this beautiful boat on the horizon, right? And for me, this morning, I was working on that image to just see what it's going to reveal because the light was so poor. I couldn't see anything through my bare eyes, but my lens was picking up because it has more magnification and so forth. But I was just using that I was processing on that picture this morning, and the word kept strengthening on me. And the thought that poured after that was, if all of us stand in one line and look at the horizon, we will probably see at the same space, right? We see that line of horizon at the same space. But what is in between those line of horizons depends on our lenses. Ocular lenses, or the mind's eye or imagination, or our perception of visualization. But we have the ability to fill in what is in between. So the first alphabet of this word hope is just jumping out to talk about the sense of horizon, right? No matter where we are in our lives, sometimes we have this finiteness of measuring where we are and where we want to be. So that little sense of saying we have to make an accomplishment is a trajectory or a track or an event, an accomplishment. But mostly our sense of view of life is as far as we can see it. And that is undefined. Nobody can define what that is. It is where it sits. It's just neutral. It's so that horizon for me was interesting because I could only see the light of the ship just bouncing just faintly, but there were birds in between. There was a little buoy blinking at the corner, which I didn't see while I was taking the picture. But while I was editing, I also saw some surfers still 200-300 yards into the ocean doing their thing. And there was no light. And usually the sea creatures are getting too active at that time of the day. But they were doing their thing. They were just wanting to make every minute of their presence in that activity before the parks kicks us out. So they were just having a great time. But the sense of this enjoyment, they were so free in that moment. They were just so present with their current circumstances, and that's all they wanted to be. That's where they wanted to be, so they were there. And there were all ages, children, young, old, male, female, everybody was there. And a part of me is, this is simple, but as I was working through this word, the horizon keeps talking about, if we have to have a sense of hope, should we measure it in any capacity, or should we leave it as a horizon? With every changing aspect of our life, can that sense of hope keep shifting so that we always have this perpetual hope? We never run out of hope, no matter what we are trying to see and obtain in our lives. Because life is not easy, never has been, and I don't think it will be. We always have to make amends, be modifying our way of life, but that horizon is where I feel is that a choice for me at this time to see that's where my hope resides. One day, we don't know what that one day is. We have never been able to define that one day. One day things will be better, but that's the sense of the horizon of the hope. So in my view of the line of horizon, as I was talking about the things in between, that is the second alphabet in this word hope. For me, I feel I rest, and the spirit rests within in the spaces, the observation. So while we hold hope in our presence, in our wants, needs, and desires, whatever we're wanting to accomplish, what are we observing in between? You know, it could be fear, it could be hesitation, it could be all the what ifs, the should, would, could, can be operational. But what are we observing while we release our need in a sense of hope? I hope it works out for me. But what is happening in between? And part for me is sometimes we don't get to see. And once again, I say, if we all stand at the same line, make a line and see the horizon, I'm pretty sure we will all see different things in between based on what speaks to us, right? So once again, none of us can define exactly what it should be for anybody out there. We can only discern for ourselves. And the part of that excitement of observation is within our sense of free thinking, or our ability to perceive the way we are impressed upon, is absolutely phenomenal. You know, and we will receive via our observation of what we have known from the past, or the potential and possibility of going forward, what it could be or how it could manifest in our lives. So that observational space is wonderful. If those that were in the presence of the adult lyceum this morning, we talked about mediumship and psychic and the muscle and the exercise and participation, but between the presence of the psychic and the mediumship abilities is individual's point of observation. What is happening when the brain or the synapses are firing? If you're missing an observation, if you're missing a little piece that completes the picture, or you only have a piece, but the picture is missing, how do we work that observation in our communication? That observation is always operational. So if you have your gifts, you understand your feelings and emotion rises a sense of construct of an observation, and we have to fill pieces to give it shape, form, and definition. So you have your own dreams. You want to have that freedom of creating the life on the version, what speaks to you, finding the space of observation is, let me focus in infinity. This is my way of life. How far and what can I fill it with, or what is already present? Am I aware of my skill set, right? We don't know our strength unless we are put to a test. And that is a big part of it. The next alphabet that was showing up in this speedy process of take notes was between where I stand and where I see as a horizon, or the possibility of the deadline or an outcome. There are many paths we can take to accomplish that. We can go in many different directions, right? We can go this way and make a big square, or we can just go dart where our nose is pointing and we can cut it short. But there are so many ways. And once again, if all of us would be observing how to get to that ship, we can all sort out and figure out what the best way or the quickest way to is there. My wild imagination would say I can visualize myself being chased by a shark, and that's the only thing can save me. You've seen that movie where that lady, the kid runs pretty fast. I think it's Incredibles, and the little kid just runs like it runs pretty fast. So think in those terms. Catalysts exist in our life, things that can trigger our process of development and accomplishments. Not every medium or psychic, as we were discussing in the class, has this nature of activity. We were talking about learning, practicing discipline, having a commitment with our abilities, but sometimes grief, trauma is also a trigger in opening up our abilities. You may are plain Jane or Joe, just going about your life, something happens, and now that has triggered your sensitivity to a level that you have to discern at an advanced age and saying, oh, now what do I do with this? What path can I take to look at the infinite possibility it holds for me now? So if you've gone through an experience that has really triggered your sensory abilities, seek yourself, ask yourself, what is the path that can take me to the best way of fulfilling what this is all about? So understanding that little piece of photograph has just captivated so much within the observation space. So that path of understanding what it's talking about, and the picture is not the neatest, best picture. It looks like a blurred artwork for somebody with a poor eyesight. But at the same time, everything that is in front of us or behind us hold a tremendous amount of potential to give us a forever boost and a power to keep moving in the direction our soul is wanting to expand. Is wanting to expand and express. So you allow that to be a point of place to move into that sense of direction. So the last alphabet has multiple words that go with it. And once again, all these alphabets, you replace whatever works for you. This was my point of nudge to present what is happening here. So the last alphabet is E, and that was talking about once we have an idea where we are heading for, or even if that's a horizon, something what I would say is an unobtainable accomplishing point of focus, right? But at the same time, there's so much more in between to explore, to create that sense of aha. It's like, oh, let's see what happens. The conversation in the morning was also happening is, what if you know somebody's not the best thing for you, right? Yeah, that person here. So you would understand that point of observation is, but we still explore it, right? Even though we know something is not the best thing for us, we all have done that. We've taken steps to say, I know it's not right, but let me just, obligation or whatever you call it. But could it be an obligation of the soul to have that experience, to say, the lesson you'll learn from this little bit will last you a forever lifetime. And it may also have a potential of releasing you from what that it is about that thing. You know, once burned, twice shy, and twice burned You can continue to multiply it your own way, but that is a part of exploring. What is that one thing that in between journey can open us up to, right? So the part of that observation is, why not take a step? Let it reveal what it needs to be revealed, because nothing is right or wrong, nothing is good or bad. It is what it is. And sometimes we have to make do with what is. And that is the beauty in all of us, that we all know that we can, but we don't know our true potential of what we can be from that point forward. So self-imposed limitations, I'm great at it. I'm sure you all can join the club, right? But at the same time, that has now turned into an awareness. Does it happen all the time? No, it happens some of the time, but that self-imposed limitations are now an awareness. What about this? I need to know a little bit more. Let me push on this boundary a little bit more. And sometimes it backfires, and most of the time it is pretty rewarding. It allows me to say, this is how I'm defining myself. So that growth is a wonderful thing. The other alternative choice of that word E was, what happens when we are looking at something with a great sense of hope? We move in that direction, right? Things are just happening. But what if we tie into with a sense of expectation? We have immediately qualified with it some sort of polarization of it. Our expectation can lead to a great outcome, or our expectation can set us up for saying, it's not going to work out, or this is not feeling right. But once again, like we were talking in the Lyceum, so everybody's encouraged to be in Lyceum, there's a lot goes on. We all have choices. And even that experience is not the greatest experience. As soon as you identify this is now confidently saying, I knew what I knew, then you can exercise that choice too, not just always in the beginning. You have that ability to make choice. So having an expectation in a sense of hope, I find for me, I speak for me at this point, it will shoot me, I'll shoot myself in the foot. So my learning curve is to not have expectation and just release that hope as neutral as it can be. One day is going to show up when I'm least prepared for it. That has an aha in its own. It may not be on my time. It's always happening in the divine timing, right? So I cannot have a sense of time from that. Now, the aha here, the third word for this E is, when we look from this perspective of what I'm sharing with my vision of this photograph, the horizon is an infinite point, right? So if we are using our sense of hope with anything or any circumstance or any improvement or anything that we're wanting in our life, I feel we should try to practice that we keep hope alive for eternity. We should not give it a shelf life. Life events will decide their own shelf life, but our sense of hope that rises from the neutrality of our heart space will put us in that space of, now it's in divine hands or it's in the Spirit's control. They'll sort it out. And that could be a path of least resistance. It's not saying that I'm not going to do my part, but it's also saying it's not in my entire control. I'm going to do my part. Everything else will have to work its way to make this happen. So that hope for a sense of eternity can be very defeating for those that are very short-minded or short goal-oriented folks. And once again, it still is not right or wrong. It is what it is. But the practice of developing the sense of connection with our own co-creation is to see it with a sense of, I have hope and it will stay there. And if it has to change, it will show me something manifesting in a different outcome. And then it will be what it will be. You still cannot have anything to do with it. So I have served, and thank you for sharing the serving with me. But as I come into the sense of closing part of the conversation here, the thing is, we are all gifted in our own unique ways. None of us, even in our psychic, mediumistic, healing, or just worldly abilities, none of us are alike. We are all unique. We are all different. We might be doing things out of the same box, but even that says, I'm still doing it differently. We all find a shortcut. We all find an easier way to get to where we need to be. And that's the beauty of our uniqueness. Everything is individualized precisely to your own makeup, to my makeup, and I know how to get there. So the laws of manifestation, that was a part of the meditation. Some of these things are, it's the feeling place. What am I feeling with this, good or bad, or how it makes me excitable to get to a certain point, and that leads us. So leaving this morning, my hope was, some of us were looking for the summer season a few weeks ago. Now, who is looking to get out of this? Right? You see the point? You see the observational point, how it shifts there? And by the time we come to our true season of the hurricanes here in Florida, or the storm, we'll be looking forward, having the hope like, oh, everything's gonna go well. See, the hope persists. It carries on. And it's contagious if you have that sense of compass. But I was enjoying, I left the house, somebody was talking here, and I'm like, okay, I'll do what they tell me. I take my leave with a sense of faith. So I did that, but anyhow, but the enjoyment was, yeah, somebody was asking for the summer season. I wonder I could find who they were and ask them, are you still there? Are you wanting to move into a different direction? So I will read something from our hymnal, which you have there. And it is, it doesn't have a page number because in the beginning pages, but it's number 13. It says, learn to forget. And as closing, I would just read this just as is. Forget each kindness that you do as soon as you have done it. Forget the praise that falls to you the moment you have won it. Forget the slander that you hear before you can repeat it. Forget each slight, each spite, each sneer, whenever you may meet it. Remember every kindness done to you, whatever its measure. Remember praise by others won, and pass it on with pleasure. Remember every promise made, and keep it to the letter. Remember those who lend you aid, and be grateful debtor. Remember all the happiness that comes your way in living. Forget each worry and distress. Be hopeful and forgiving. Remember good, remember truth. Remember heavens above you, and you will find through age and youth true joys and hearts to love you. Just understand, the 4th of July has a big significance in terms of the historical aspects, but your true freedom resides right inside of you. And that's what we all need to remember. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. During our musical interlude, we will be passing the basket, and we thank you very much in advance for your generosity. Our musical interlude will be presented by Jamie Osman.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyways, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where sunlight melts like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. And that's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? 'Cause when it's over, it won't matter how much I have. Yeah, when it's over, it won't matter how much I had. Yeah, when it's over, all that matters is what I get. Did I give love to my brother? Did I give love to my sisters? Did I give love to my enemy? Did I give love, love, love? All that matters is love, love, love. When it's over, it won't matter what I look like. Yeah, when it's over, it won't matter what I look like. Yeah, when it's over, all that matters is what I get. Did I give joy to my brothers? Did I give joy to my sisters? Did I give joy to my enemies? Did I give joy, joy, joy? All that matters is joy, joy, joy. When it's over, it won't matter from where I came. Yeah, when it's over, it won't matter from where I came. Yeah, when it's over, all that matters is what I gave. Did I give a piece to my brothers? Did I give a piece to my sisters? Did I give peace to my enemies? Did I give a peace, peace, peace? All that matters is love, love, love. All that matters is joy, joy, joy. When it's over. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Jamie. And thank you everyone for participating. And our little tambourine section. Okay. Yes. Well, that's the way you raise the energy in church. Okay, just saying. And now we have some announcements. On next Wednesday, July 5th, that's the one coming up after July 4th, our message bearer will be Deborah Jordan. Next Sunday, July 9th, our guest speaker at our 10:30 service, which is this service you're here at, is Eileen Ballantyne. Fantastic. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. And next Sunday, July 9th, our Lyceum speaker will be Reverend Jerry Moore. Let me see what else we got here. And we have some more announcements, I see. Next Saturday, July 8th, Lori Carter and Sydney, a mother-daughter certified medium team, will work in tandem to bring messages to those in attendance. This will be held at the AJD building. Also, that's where the bookstore is located. And that service begins at 5 and ends at 6:30. A $5 donation is greatly appreciated. And on Sunday, July 9th, Reverend Phil DeLong will be doing a workshop, Death and Leaving the Physical Body, and that is from 2 to 4 p.m. Additional information can be found about everything in our flyer that is in your hymnal, as well as available on the counter. As you leave, please feel free to help yourself and bring one home. To participate in absentee healing, please print the name and first initial of the last name of a loved one, friend, or even a pet on our healing book at the left corner of Colby Temple. You find it back there on a little table. Flyers for camp activities, again, are available at the back of the temple. We have an activities calendar and a church bulletin in your hymnal for you to take home and give to a friend. And I'm going to show copies again, just in case. There you go. It's my perfect Carol Merrill. All right. That's for those of you that know who I'm talking about. I just dated myself. All right. Oh, let's see here now. Our website, casadega.org, also has the monthly information as well on all other upcoming events. We've got all kinds of information on our website, so please visit that as well. And now please stand for the next hymn, 179, This Little Light of Mine.
We must have the tambourines on this one. This little This little how it shine. This little every 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 building I'm building I'm shining building Before you guys sit down, I want to sing just the first voice with just the voices, because I think that's more beautiful than anything. Okay. So, all right, let's go. This little light, how it shine. This little light, how it shine. This little light, how it shine. Shine. Beautiful. Yeah, you guys made me see that. Thank you.
All right, that was fun. Okay. And now for the message portion of our service. Again, it is my pleasure and honor to bring up Joy Sagar. He will be the message bearer.
Thank you again. Thank you. So our co-pastors have been very nice, and Reverend Deb reached out to me. Would you like any specific songs or anything or requests? I said, no, just that. And everything, it was very divinely orchestrated. This is, everything falls in place if we leave it in the divine order. And this hymn that we just sang is very, very soft, profound memory of me, my mom singing it to me. That was sometimes I would ask her to sing, and that's what this was our nighttime hymn was. So I have my own, and so I'm like, okay, everything is in divine order, so we'll work with that. So as I approach you for the message, please recognize what you put on this morning. If you forgot due to your short attention span, just, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No, literally, sometimes I forget what I just ate like 10 minutes ago, so it's all good. That's nothing. It's happened. The gentleman in the light blue shirt. Yes, your first name, please. Mark. Mark, as I'm working with you, I feel there's a very strong sense of presence with you, and I feel like they're more feminine presence with you than masculine, but they are just like, it's almost like a teamwork. And the lady that is stepping forward, I feel like she has a very strong presence in the family, and she's also have a very strong presence in the neighborhood she has grown up. I feel like this could have been someone who just about everybody would gravitate for comfort or just being there. And it's not usually help, sometimes it's just fine. She had beautiful presence that was enough to heal or comfort you, right? So I have this presence, but I feel what the pouring of the message is to you when it comes from a lot of love. And the reminder is for you to be love yourself. Because I feel there's somewhere in the last couple of weeks, there has been phases you pass where you are being hard or difficult, but it's practicing within yourself. The other message that she's wanting me to pass it on to you is take your time. There's no rush, take your time. And I feel it can apply in many different parts of your life. But I think once again, what you're fine tuning as an instrument, I feel like she's saying is take your time, don't be in a rush. So please be kind to yourself and exercise the love she has provided you in many, many times. And just know that she's there with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. The gentleman cross-handed, red t-shirt, how are you? Good. You forgot for a second, right? Gotcha. But as I connect with you, I have this fatherly presence that overtakes me. And I feel like you two are different characters. I feel you are much different in personality than this individual was. They knew hard work. They knew the road to making things happen is hard work. And I know they did their part. I also feel like they endured physical illness before they passed on, because I feel like they had to keep taking care of their upper part of the body. This is chest, lungs. I feel my part of my kidneys are also affected progressively with time. But my sense with this individual is that's all he knew, hard work. Hard work will make things better. Hard work will make things better. But his observation of you over time, I want to say over a few years now, is your approach to life is much different than him. I feel you are simplifying your life. I feel like you're getting away from things that you don't have to work hard for. And I feel that's a blessing in some ways. But I see your thoughts are simplified. Your approach to life is very slow and steady. And for him, it's very enjoyable because you are still accomplishing what you want to accomplish, but it's not in a rush, it's not under pressure. And he sees that part with you. Now, what I also feel he's saying is you're much soft-spoken than he is. But when you speak firmly, but outside of it, I feel like you're very soft and mild in your expression. And I think that's another part of him that's different than you, because I feel like he had to push on things all the time, ask for help or ask for this and that. But I think you're still accomplishing of your convictions. But I feel like you take that little softer approach and goes a long ways. Is there. Now, what I see with you is I feel you somewhere are audiovisual person. You do enjoy listening and seeing things, or you study by that. If I give you a book, it may be a little hit and miss for you to go through the entire book. But if I give you audiovisual cues, I think you will remember, retain for a long period of time. And my sense is I feel there's this part of you needs to continue to progress in that. Because my sense is you can be a very effective speaker if you want to be. Your voice box is very active. What you say is meaningful. It comes from experiential part of you. And his message to you is keep practicing, keep finding the instrument that I feel one day your voice is going to carry in inspiring others. So please remember that for yourself and step into your beauty when you're ready for it. And thank you for being here. Thank you. The lady with the eye shades hanging no, right behind you with a little headgear. Yes. How are you doing? Managing? Yeah. The woman that's here with me is saying that she's just managing. She hasn't gotten over it yet. And I know that she comes with love. And I feel like there's a part of feel I wish you could have been there more with her in a physical sense. But like your time spent was, I feel like you feel it was not enough. And she's saying, well, everything was counted for. You did, you gave her what you could have. So you can't live in the could haves. She's saying is just accept it. It's already is past. But she comes with a little laughter in her voice. She comes with a little spunk in her energy. So I feel like she's a very lively individual. I feel like if she's alive around me, there will not be a dull moment. She's always talking, chatting, and just carrying on, but not always business. She knows how to have a casual conversation. And she says, you have what you're working through it, you need to understand you're not alone. And your journey is definitely will never be alone. And what I intuitively assess with you, the grief has shifted your own reality. So if it opens up boxes that you have shut down a long time ago, pay attention, the sparkle and the brightness they bring forward. So go through that phase where you are, but I hope you don't stay there for too long. Right? Okay. So intuitively in your auric field, in your presence of your energy, you're very quick-witted. You have a great sense of presence with people when you're talking. And I feel like people notice that and they remember you by that rather than what was your name or what the purpose was, but they remember, oh, she was pretty engaged in that space there. Now, my sense with you is I also see that there is a plane to catch or there's a trip is there. I do not know if you leave here and you're heading to the airport. I don't know, but I feel like it's immediate. It's closed for some reason. And I feel like it's going to be excellent. And I feel there's also a reluctance for you in that journey, but I feel like it's going to be excellent. So make the best of it. Don't engage where you know the engagement is not the best time. That's all I have to say. So I know you're anticipating something like that, but please be true to yours. And thanks for being here. The lady with the hymnal tightly clinging, yes. How are you? See, I tricked because it's not always the clothing. What's your first name, please? Natasha. I hope this is not your first time here, and I hope this is not your last in our community, in our setup here. I feel you do come from a different setup growing up in your life. Your upbringing with religion, faith, spirituality is much different than what it is today. And that's what I'm seeing. And I feel like you are a questioning mind. You're that beautiful skeptic we all should have around, because you question things within reason. And you ask for clarification because you're going through that download, what we call in your own space. So be authentic and express yourself authentically, because the moment you're going to shape-shift into somebody else's comfort, you're going to miss that point. I say keep exploring your skepticism. And if that is your belief system at this time, I welcome it, because that will take you places. There's a gentleman that steps forward, and I feel like part of his life went in taking care of him. It's a very small part of life. And he comes to me from an older generation, and I feel he was a help around the home, or he participated as a help. Pockets of time is there. But I feel what he's saying is I didn't amount to a lot of things, but I was a big part of the family. And he loves his family. He loves the structure. And when I ask him to take a side for you, he goes into the dad side of the family. He steps into that section of the family. And he's saying is there's not a lot of information about me around the people. I feel a good part of family members don't know about him. And I just know he's saying is I am working with her, and she needs to understand and recognize me, because I have consistency. So if you have the presence of spirit around you, if there's one specific and spirit is consistent, the feelings are consistent, your emotions are consistent, and ask for more information, Natasha. And I feel like he's going to honor your commitment in participating with that. Until then, he's going to keep ruffling your feathers till you pay attention. So enjoy it, ask more questions, and then sit with that observational point to have what's coming to you, right? Now, I do know, I go back to that part of his word. He said not a lot of people living know about him. And I feel like he's also a slightly removed part of the family where he was there, but he was there for a very short pocket of time. But he brings a sense of endurance with him. He brings a sense of we can accomplish anything. And once again, if there's a part of your trajectory in the future forward motion, if you're living in the future too frequently, the one reminder for you, I think, comes from him as a guidance, is to remind yourself, I will get it done one day. And then just day at a time, chip it away, is there. Now, that beach scene that I had my own experience yesterday, somewhere he's putting it into your field, but it feels like it's a very cold beach. It's not like Floridian warm waters. It feels somewhere is taking you to a beach which is cold. And I feel like this is being predisposed in the next couple of months. So I'm seeing as a sense of projection, I feel you'll be visiting a beach much colder. So I can interpret it as somewhere up north. And a part of the water is cold, it's very chilly. I'm not going in there. But suit yourself. But somewhere his senses, your connection is going to be profound by that time between you and him. So what I'm giving to you, you will cultivate and develop on it. You have it already with you. This one spirit body is repeatedly there in your presence. So enjoy and bond with it. And thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for touching me with your own spirits by being here. And hope you realize you're free. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you, Joy. All right, before we continue, I got so excited with Jamie's beautiful singing that I forgot to do the offertory prayer. So for just a second here, I'd like to take a moment and share a prayer for the money that's been so generously donated to our church. Infinite Spirit, please allow the generosity of all to be used for the greatest good and expansion of the camp. Please allow us to honor the 130 years of history that has deepened the spiritual connection felt by so many around the world. Thank you for helping me, for allowing me to catch my misstep there. And now, let's see here. We would like to remind everyone that we have our afternoon message service right here in the temple from 12 until 12:30. A group of mediums and student mediums will be giving spirit greetings to as many individuals as they can reach during that approximate 30 minutes. Everyone is welcome to attend. We encourage you to visit our bookstore, which is open 11:30 to 5 p.m. today and Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And now please rise for our closing hymn, number 203, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Yes, that was my.
Infinite intelligence, God, source, we thank you for the blessings of this service. and of the gathering of these souls, both here and on the other side. We thank you for your love, your trust, the faith that you allow us. And we also thank you so very much for this golden opportunity to live a beautiful day in an amazing existence. And is with deep, heartfelt love, we say thank you and amen from the bottom of our souls. All right, you guys, have a great day.
Good job, Marty.
Thank you very much. You did wonderful too.
You did a lot of what I knew is when you get up here, your actors kicks on.
Exactly. Yeah, only another